Welcome to City on a Hill Gaming, a tabletop RPG actual play podcast. To find out more, download episodes wherever you get podcasts, or visit us online at cityonahillgaming.com, or by sending us an email at cityonahillgaming@gmail.com. You can also support us on patreon.com/cityonahillgaming. We hope you enjoy our show. You were called by one of the guards to the Aldori dueling chamber, where she is in there with her dueling sword, and she just kind of looks at you. She didn't even say anything. She just looks at you and nods, and she steps into the middle of the circle.
Ezzik will do the same. He'll two hands like on his great axe. He's ready to go.
Big unnecessary ceremonial bow. Roll that initiative.
I've rolled really well up until this point. I rolled a natural 1.
Nice.
So for a 4.
Okay, so she's got a 14. So she will go
pull out
first.
my loot and start playing Eye of the Hyena.
So some guy comes running up the stairs for some reason, because you're supposed to run upstairs while that song's on. She will lunge at you with her dueling sword. Does a 13 does not hit your armor, I assume. Then she just kind of smiles and it's your turn.
You know what? Like, she's already up in my grill. So we're gonna just go ahead and start off strong. I'm going to spell strike her.
Okay.
With a caustic blast. Like,
go for it. And for the audience, because I wasn't super clear about this, like, this is just kind of like a for fun, practice duel for the two of them. This is not, they weren't just handed a charter by the nice lady and now Ezzik is attacking her.
Hey, like, if I kill her, I get to be ruler of everything, is what I understand.
I don't think mechanically that's correct, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I rolled a 23.
You do hit.
So, okay. So we're going to, do you want me to divide my damage up, or do you care?
No, just give it to me as full numbers.
Got a math.
No
13
worries.
damage.
13. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Relatively close to minimum damage.
That's not nothing, man.
And then I need you to make a reflex save.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yes, I need you to make a reflex save.
Whoop. 14.
Okay. For this, nothing happens.
Okay.
The spell's a little wonky because I'm using it as part of my spell strike. So.
Right. I got what you're saying. Okay. Okay. She will.
But I have one more action.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have one.
I didn't have to move.
Oh right, because she got up in your grill. That's true.
She came up to me, and so I'm going to go ahead and use my Arcade Cascade.
Okay.
My most recent action is to cast a spell or make a spell strike, which is true. I will enter this stance. So I'm going to we talked about this before. He's going to take a portion of like the energy that he used in the spell, that like residual magic in the air, and he is going to like channel it and like keep that energy in his great axe.
Oh, okay,
and
nice.
So from now on, for the rest of this combat, he is going to deal an extra 1 acid damage on his attacks, and I gain 1 temporary hit point.
Okay.
At the start of each of my turns for as long as I'm in this stance, because of my inexorable iron hybrid study.
Okay, nice.
And then that's my turn.
Woof. She looks noticeably a little thrown by all of that. She will strike back. 12 does not hit.
Mm-mm.
Let's see. Nope, that's a natural 2 for a 6. Take this shot in the dark just for the sake of it. Nope. That is 3 strikes and she misses. She's clearly shaken by something. It is Ezzik's turn.
So I think like we haven't seen Ezzik get to kind of be in his element like this, but like
you're popping off a little bit.
Yeah, he excels at the like, I have 3 actions. My main class feature is 2 actions. Like, if you're going to come up to me, I'm at advantaged because like I don't have to actually move to cast my spells.
Right.
And so he is going to kind of just continue rolling this train. And so the point of entering like the Arcane Cascade is that this lets me recharge my spell strike.
Okay.
And so I get to do it again. Normally it's very difficult to spell strike multiple times, but because of how this has played out. And so that like, he's kind of actually getting to, I've said this before, the Magus feels like a 2D fighting like Street Fighter character of it's like you have these combos and these chains, and I really need to go through and actually like map out what it's allowed to do what. You can't do so again until you recharge it with a single action which has the concentrate trait. Yes. Okay, so I was correct. Arcane Cascade has the concentrate trait. And so I would be allowed to spell strike again. So I like got in my zone of like this is what the character does, and then forgot if that was actually the rules. And so like
Right.
because like I don't know how it is for y'all's characters, but like spell strike has like 6 paragraphs that describe what the ability does.
Yep.
And so like it's all for this one ability, and so it's a huge wall of text. And then of course like I have a class feat that also changes how it works. And so like it basically lets me spell strike with different spells. And so it definitely makes it a bit more complex for balancing how all of it works. It doesn't help that it's also been a hot minute since we've played, and so
Right.
Yeah.
there's all kind of the like coming back and having to relearn the characters and relearn all the spells and stuff, and so it definitely makes it a bit more complex to actually go through. Yeah, because I think ignition is my normal spell strike spell, just because that's just like the fire cantrip.
How many strikes can you make in a turn?
3. A strike takes 1 action, and so
Ooh. I found a good spell for us to use.
yeah, and so each strike becomes harder and harder to hit, but
Yeah.
you can you could use all 3 of your actions to strike 3 times if you wanted.
I found a spell called Echoing Weapon, where the more you actually successfully hit in the turn, after I cast this, at the end of the turn, the weapon starts to hum, or like with each hit, the weapon starts to hum, and as the end of the turn, it explodes a sonic sound vibration that deals 1 sonic damage equal to the number of successful strikes the target made with that weapon that turn.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
So it's just a little like strike, ding.
Yeah, hey, like that extra damage builds up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. That's kind of fun.
Okay, so my turn or your turn?
She attacked and missed,
Right.
and so
Okay, so yeah, it's your turn again. Yeah, you're good.
Had a little bit of verification time. Arcane Cascade does have the concentrate, so this does work the way that I anticipated, and that recharges my spell strike. So I'm going to just make another spell strike against her.
Okay.
And this time I'm going to use it with ignition, and so which is going to be fire damage instead of
instead of the poison or whatever.
12 to hit.
No.
Okay. And so because of that, I lose the spell.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a cantrip. So for this, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
It's just like, yeah, I'm a prepared spellcaster, so like I can't like cast the spell again, but I believe that's how it works for leveled spells. I believe normal spells or cantrips you can cast multiple times. I don't remember.
Yeah, you should be able to.
So I don't necessarily have a lot of other great options here because spell strike, for the sake of the multiple attack penalty, counts as 2 attacks. So I could attack again, but
you'd be at the heavy negative.
Yeah. And my great axe doesn't. My great axe helps me if I'm attacking multiple enemies. It does not help me on attacking the same enemy.
Oh, multiple. So, yeah, multiple times or whatever. Sure.
Yeah. So like the penalty isn't as drastic if I switch my target. But
sure.
Since I don't really have that ability, I just don't necessarily want to do that. And so then I have another way of recharging my spell strike, but I have to make a strike with my weapon to do that. So I don't really want to do that either. I don't want to waste that spell.
Sure.
And so I think for the sake of this, I am going to use my 3rd action. I'm going to cast Shield on myself.
Okay.
And so this is going to give me a +1 circumstance bonus to my AC until the start of my next turn.
Plus one circumstance bonus to AC until the start of their next turn. Okay. She sees that she caught you a little off guard with that, and with you missing, and she will try and come down on you kind of hard here. Whoop. Does a 20 hit. I feel like that's actually a close thing.
Yeah, that does hit.
That does hit. Okay.
So
she's going to kind of come down
it's
on you.
19 with shield.
Ooh.
And so.
Okay. Okay, make me a fortitude save.
13.
Okay. And then, minimum damage. Okay, so you take 13 damage and you are knocked prone. She kind of slashes down on you super hard and kind of trips you.
Okay, and so I will use the reaction for my shield to absorb 5 of that damage.
Okay.
And then the shield spell breaks.
Gotcha.
So I'll take 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I am knocked prone.
And then she will kind of slide backwards about 10 feet. And she does a little flourish. Very interesting. Very interesting. What say you, Ezzik?
I say this isn't over.
Very good.
And so I will... is she done?
Yes. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it is a full action to stand back up. So I'll use 1 action point to do that. Then I will use another action to stride up to her. And then for my third action, I will use Thundish Strike, which is my focus spell. And so this also recharges my spell strike. And so...
Oh, okay.
So I am going to attack her, and then 14 to hit.
No.
Okay. And then I need her to make a fortitude save against me.
Okay. And let me know when you are below 10 hit points.
Okay.
Fortitude of 18.
Okay. She succeeds, so nothing happens.
Okay. You have a very interesting style.
So that's all for me.
Very interesting. She will kind of glide forward at you and make another swing of her dueling sword. 25.
Yeah, it's a hit. Almost critical, but...
That's true, yeah, because of the variance, yeah. And you will take 7 damage. And then she will try another hit. So this one's less likely to succeed. Yeah, that's just a 9. Your turn.
So Ezzik is definitely like, he's bloodied. He's definitely like not looking the best, but like this is what he has like trained his life for. And so we're going to attack again.
Okay.
This is going to be my last spell strike. I don't have another way of recharging within combat.
Within combat. Okay.
And so we're going to, I clicked on a spell to use it, and then there's no text there. And so we're going to use another spell strike, this time with Breathe Fire.
Okay.
And so.
Ooh. Very interesting.
Man. 15.
No.
I've rolled like 4, 4, 6 or 3, 4, 6 with these. Like the first hit was great, but then
because you're definitely capable of hitting her, it's just not being nice to you right now.
Yeah. I mean, the only time I've rolled above 10 has been that first hit, and so
that's wild.
And then I guess for lack of nothing else to do at this point, I'm going to make a strike, and so this is basically a straight roll.
Okay.
Yeah, natural 1.
Nice.
So,
okay.
So like Ezzik is like I imagine like Ezzik is like a bruiser. Like he has a big weapon. He's probably fighting a much more agile enemy. And so like she is like dodging his like heavy swings. Like if he connects, it deals big damage, but like she is super agile. Dodging.
Yeah, she just kind of, which you're not used to. She almost like knocks your weapon just kind of out of the way. As you bring it down, she just kind of uses her sword and just kind of pokes it out of the air. And then she will make another swing at you. No. Oh, it's 15 hit? I don't think 15 hits.
No.
Okay. I kind of didn't think so. Well, that means a 7 probably doesn't either. You're both very tired right now.
Yeah.
What am I aiming for?
18.
18. Show me that. -1 hit. That's a 1 total. Well, this is unfortunate. Your turn.
Okay. So like I imagine like at this point, like Ezzik has like blown through his spells. He like I still have a couple like I have like a handful of spells I could do, but like my damaging ones are spent, with the exception of one. But like he still has this magic rippling through his axe, and so we're gonna just try to make another like normal strike against her.
Right.
There we go. Dirty 20.
Okay, you hit.
12 damage total.
Okay.
And then if she still looks like she's ready to go, he'll attack again.
Yes, she's fine. Keep going.
17.
Yes.
Another 12.
Okay. You're fine.
Okay. And then he'll attack one more time.
Okay.
3. So nothing there.
Okay. She will slice at you with the sword one more time. 15, I know, doesn't hit. 21.
That's a hit.
Okay. That's a total of... Good night, man. 4 damage. Cannot get in.
Ezzik is still above 10.
Okay. She'll take one more swing at you. 18?
With the minus? Wow. Yeah, that's a hit. That's exactly.
Okay. And that is 8 damage.
Okay. I'm definitely below 10.
Okay.
That knocks me down to 3.
Okay. Well, she kind of reads the room, and she slides back, and she makes she kind of flourishes the sword, and then she sheaths it and bows at you. Well met.
Ezzik will he'll like take his great axe, he'll like nod and bow back to her, and you see like the acidic energy like in his axe kind of fade away.
Oh, okay. Like as he kind of, yeah. Very good.
The stance ends.
Very interesting. You hear several people clapping as they walk in the room behind you. And one of them walks over, and she walks towards Lady Jamandi, and then Lady Jamandi nods towards you, and she walks past her, and she walks to you, Ezzik, and she just kind of lays a hand on your shoulder, and you go back to full hit points.
Thank you so much.
And then she walks over and does the same to Lady Jamandi. Well met, Ezzik, well met. It was quite enjoyable. Perhaps once you are done establishing the kingdom, we may do this again.
Oh, I'd look forward to that.
It was a pleasure. Well, since they're here, why wait until tomorrow? I would like to introduce you to 3 of my team that I would like to accompany you, if you're willing. She nods to 3 people, and basically you see, and I'm going to try and... You guys are in the manor room on Roll20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to make these abnormally big. They're obviously not this size. He introduces you to the 3 people. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
And for us, are we all in the fighting pit? Because if not, Ezzik would want to make sure that we get... Like, I know Grizzlesnacks said that he was in here.
Yeah, you guys are all in the room, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually a 4th person walks in. The guy who was the forger who was working on your weapons walks in and hands each of them to you. So you now have those +1 potency runes in your weapons. So 3 people walk into the room. The lady who came over and kind of did some kind of healing on you looks like a lady in kind of heavy armor. She has a mace and a shield. But you also notice she has almost looks like a quiver, but it's full of parchment.
Ooh.
And then there is a second young lady who looks younger. She just has a large bow strapped to her back. And then the third is a big... You would assume it was a person in heavy armor. Everybody make me either Society, Arcana, or... Just like Society or Arcana checks. Or Survival. We'll say Society, Arcana, or Survival. I know it's like a weird combination of things.
Oof.
I'll do Arcana.
12.
11.
11. Okay. Cameron and Emma, Ezzik and Kerpley have heard of something called a rune forged. They're sort of like sentient constructs, and they're not super common. but they are very popular in the households of the sword lords as bodyguards or traveling mages or whatever. And this appears to be a rune forge. Like, there are crevices in his arms and legs that like faintly glow purple. And you realize it's not a suit of armor with a person in it. It is like a construct of stone and wood that steps forward. And she introduces each of them. She points to the young lady with the mace and the heavy armor. This is Grizzly. She is one of our clerics, and she is also a mapper. I'm hoping she can serve you well in keeping track as you explore the different parts of the Greenbelt.
What was that name?
Grizzly. Breigley. She steps forwards and nods towards you. She looks vaguely human. She also looks vaguely dwarven at the same time. And you notice she is significantly too tall to be a dwarf, but maybe just a touch too short to be human on average. The other young lady steps forward. This is Ashel, and she just kind of nods. And she has that very... wish I had watched this show. I didn't watch Hawkeye, though I've been told it's very good. She very much has like...
I got bored.
That's fair. If you remember Hawkeye from the first Avengers movie, like very much like always up on the high ground, always like looking around. She has that kind of attitude, but combined with like teenage girl energy. So it's like she's just very constantly looking around and not really paying any attention to the three of you. She's watching everything else. And then the third, the big Runeforge steps forward, and he gives you a very heavy bow. This is Crowdoll. He is one of my bodyguards. Greetings. It is a pleasure to meet each of you.
My name is Ezzik. These are my associates.
Hi.
Hello.
Is he still bowed over?
A little, yes.
Can I reach his shoulder?
Sure.
I'm just gonna grab his shoulder and like launch myself onto his back.
Yeah, I kind of feared something like that was
And
going
like
to happen.
just like sit on his shoulder.
I was gonna say, I almost want to backpack this guy.
Yeah, just sit on his shoulder and be like, "What's up, bud? How you doing? You're big."
He looked like he almost moves to move you, and then Grizzly walks over and just kind of like lays a hand on his arm. It's like, Crowdoll, it's fine.
I just kind of lean against his head, prop my feet up a little bit, and start like fingering the loot.
Little one.
I got your walk-in music here. Here you go.
Oh, you start playing something?
And yeah, I just start fingering the loot and like just figuring out a little bit of a strummy rhythm.
You are very talented. You may stay.
You may stay.
In response, I'm gonna just like backpack on Cameron. Name I'm blinking. Cameron. Ezzik, thank you. To sort of mimic one small person on a big person.
I like the idea that you're small enough and Ezzik's strength is high enough that he doesn't really notice.
Yeah.
You're just kind of attached.
I'm just
okay.
pulling a Yoda, you know?
Yeah. And then Ashel pauses for a second, looks at Grizzly, looks at her back. Grizzly looks at her, shakes her head to no, like, don't even think about it. And Ashel moves back to her constant vigilance. You seem slightly disappointed. Just slightly.
Oh.
Everybody likes backpack and having
everybody does like backpack.
Yes.
Uppies. That's the entire kingdom. You guys are just always carried around by something.
A small folk like uppies.
It's a kingdom of tiny people and the large people who carry them.
Yep.
Works for me. The three of them will. She pauses. She wasn't looking when all of this happened, and she turns back around, and there's now only 4 people standing in front of her, and two people, 7 feet off the ground for some reason. Like, well then. Okay. Yes. Well, these three will accompany you as you begin your exploration. I hope they will serve you well.
Of course. Thank you for the aid.
Yes. You will leave in the morning then. She stops brightly as you guys walk out of the room, mutters something to her, and then Ezzik, she stops you. Keep an eye on the three of them. They've never been outside the kingdom.
Of course. He'll reach over, put a hand on her shoulder.
Will do.
And then
the voice comes from behind you. She can't see you.
Pops out behind.
Hey, eyeball lick, eyeball lick, eyeball lick. Oh, yes, well.
No, it's just completely chill. Just, I am here.
Yes, well, very good. And she also tells you that when you leave in the morning, there will be a single cart and a number of horses out in front of the manor. That number of horses is however many that number of horses needs to be on a given session. But when there are 5 players, there are 5 horses, etc. Where those horses go in between, not important. Presumably the horse dimension.
They're just hanging out somewhere.
Yep, they're just
nearby.
Kept somewhere. Somewhere appropriate. Okay, so as you guys leave the next morning, as you step out the front door of her manor, and Ezzik, you recognize someone who is literally leaning against the wall at the top of the stairs. It's Tartuccio. Ready for your adventure, I see. We will have to talk at some point. You could be very useful to my plan. To Tartuccio and the kingdom. Very useful.
Only good guys refer to themselves in third person.
This is true. Tartuccio has often been told that. It is good that you also recognize it.
Well, once we get settled in, if you want to come visit us, feel free.
You could, were you interested, perhaps abandon your charter and come support me in my efforts, if you were interested.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I don't think that would be the best way to start off my journey by betraying the charter that was given to me.
Rodal begins looming menacingly behind you. Oh, interesting, Runeforged. Interesting. Well, I'm sure Tartuccio will see you again in the future. It was a pleasure to meet you.
That you shall, my friend.
You, Ezzik, Carpley, and you with the changing name. You be careful.
It's always been Gazzlesmack. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes, that is what is in Tartuccio's notes. That makes plenty of sense. Good. As long as we're on the same page. Good. Very good.
You as well, straight.
You can always call him Gazzlesmack.
Yes. Gabble Max it is. Good.
No, it's a Gazzlesmacks.
Gazzlesmacks, right. Okay, so you guys get your horses and your cart full of 2 weeks worth of supplies, basically. And you make your way out of town, and Brightly unfolds a big map that's actually just a map of the region and points you a direction that is sort of southwest and points to what looks like almost a crossroads. And we travel to here and then south, and that will take us to Oleg's trading post as a place to start. So you guys set out, and it takes you... She tells you it's probably about 2 days, maybe or so, to the crossroads, and then another 5 to 6 days south to Oleg's. And that's on that's horseback speed. south, so it gets a little bit of a distance. What is everyone doing as you travel? I'm just assuming Grizzly Snacks is just playing music most of the time.
Yeah, just constantly finding different ways to annoy people with music.
Support people with music.
Sick beats.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, same thing. Potato, tomato. Potato, tomato, as I always say.
Carefully would probably be taking notes in a journal of like the landscape to take back to her people.
Is Kerpley riding a horse, or is Kerpley riding Ezzik as Ezzik rides a horse?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. That's Correct. What I thought.
She is not riding a horse. She has never experienced that a day in her life.
Seems like utter nonsense.
Exactly. She came from a tribe of druids in the rainforest off somewhere. They didn't ride horses. They just jumped through the trees. They're frogs.
Why would you do something like that?
Never. So she's just like taking notes in her own little nonsensical kind of way, and
it makes sense to her. That's what matters.
Apparently, with this, it makes sense to her. Casually communicating with animals on a rudimentary level. So she's not riding the horse, but she's like chittering at it on occasion, asking it questions.
Sure. You don't get much more than a neigh every once in a while, but he seems engaged.
That's fine.
Yeah, he seems engaged in whatever it is that's happening. He's not really sure, but that's not important.
Yeah. She's just trying to form a relationship of some kind.
Perfectly reasonable. Yeah. You love to see it. Okay. So you guys head south for your 2 days. You take your different watches and kind of just hang out. Everybody seems pretty chill. You don't really run into anything. And then you get to the crossroads, sort of that four-way intersection that she talked about. And it's maybe a little earlier than expected. It's probably like pretty late in the afternoon when you guys arrive there. And it's kind of surrounded by... The four-way stop is kind of surrounded by, the word I'm looking for, bushes, I guess? A shrubbery, perhaps? Shrubbery or 12. And...
It was just a path.
Guarded by Knights of Knee.
Yes, they do occasionally say knee and discuss the air-laden speed of certain types of birds.
Yep.
As one does. As one is... in fact want to do. 5 favorite words in game. Make me a perception check.
21. Would have liked that in that combat.
9.
Would have definitely liked that in that combat. Good gracious, Cameron. Cameron, there is definitely, as you approach this like intersection that is lined suspiciously, not at all, I mean, with trees, you definitely can tell you guys are not alone in this area. You're not sure how many, but there are definitely some folks hanging out here somewhere. And it doesn't appear to just be other people that are passing through the area.
So, like, we're not seeing people, but we're seeing, like, supplies? Are we seeing, like other camps?
You think you actually have seen a person or two sneaking around behind some of the bushes.
Okay, in that case, he'll, like, call out of, like, to everybody that things are going on, and for Kerpley he'll specifically like point out the direction, but we'll since Kerpley is like drawing things in her journal, he'll specifically call out like, Kerpley, there's a unique bush over there, maybe we should go and investigate.
Yes. Good you would not want to miss out on such a unique find here locally. It's a very important local shrub. Good. You guys Cameron,
down.
Cameron, roll me a d6.
In my dice tower. 6.
Okay. You specifically, I'll ping it. You specifically see people down here in this bush. as you get closer to that area, a guy just steps out of the bushes right next to you guys. Huh. Interesting. Travelers on horseback. Well met. Where are you headed, friends?
That way.
We are.
Are you pointed back the direction you just came from then?
Way. Straight. Like.
Just
down.
Kind of off in a distance, kind of up, kind of up, but up. Not anywhere in particular.
Just up enough
just
to not be possible.
Yeah. Direction.
I'm not looking where I'm pointing.
You're just pointing. Okay, good.
That way.
Love it.
It is obviously not the direction we're going.
No, absolutely not. Why would that be? Of course. Well, if you wish to pass through Grellin's Crossroad. Hi, I'm Grellin. Pleasure to meet you. Brightly from our horse looks over at you. It's not called that. It's just called the Crossroad. It's definitely not called that. It's definitely called that. Don't listen to her. This is Grellin's Crossroad. Again, hi, I'm Grellin. Pleasure to meet you. You must simply pay a toll. It's a very affordable toll.
How do you get a crossroad?
You just have to know a guy. It's a city council thing. It's like zoning laws and the like. You don't want to bother. It's really not worth the headache, I promise. But nevertheless, I do have control of this crossroad. He definitely doesn't have control of this crossroad. I have control of this crossroad, and if you wish to pass through in any of the directions, including the one you just came from, or up somehow, as your friend seems to think, you must pay a toll. A simple toll of, he kind of sizes you guys up. We'll say, I don't know, 25 gold a person seems reasonable for you to pass through the crossroad. Perfectly reasonable. I'm sure you'll agree.
No.
Here at Grellin's Crossroad.
No.
Name pending. We have snacks if you would like to purchase snacks.
No.
I hiding behind the horse's head, I cast Mage Hand.
Oh, no. Okay, sure. Why not?
No.
What are you doing with the Mage
Hand?
Hand?
Or excuse me, telekinetic hand is the
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah. Telekinetic hand.
I'm picking his pocket for his coin purse.
For his own what?
Picking his pocket for his coin purse.
Oh, okay.
For his coin purse. Yeah.
You gotta pay the toll with his money. Make me a thievery check.
I put points in this for a reason.
Love to see it.
14.
Not
enough points.
You don't find a coin purse, but you do find a handful of gold, and kind of like float it over to you, or if you want, float it over to him.
No, it kind of like it skirts the whole, like not even subtly for those other than him, but around behind him in a wide 30-foot arc.
Okay.
Around to the back of us to me.
One of his companions just kind of points at it. What? Right.
I have this. You want this?
You see the little mark on the coin, and as you look, there are little marks on each coin that have clearly been indented with like a specific tool. Those are mine already. But we'll take them from you when we take the rest of your gold.
Well, yeah, just like this is your crossroad. This is your coin. I don't see where the confusion is.
It was already mine. I am looking for more of it. Like new ones. Ones that weren't previously mine. Probably yours.
But I have it.
Right. And I'm going to take it back from you. Of course.
I'm confused.
That's okay. It's a very simple
each.
Very simple process. One where are you from, little one? 1 gold. I'm fascinating.
1 gold each.
All right, I'm gonna regret saying this. Make me a sweet Georgia Brown deception, diplomacy, or intimidation check.
As I look my eyeball at them,
I was gonna say
an 18.
You got a what?
An 18.
Heck, nabbit. That is most unsettling.
1 gold each.
But it's very unsettling. Fine, I don't want to deal with you anymore. But the coins that were already mine are returned, and they don't count.
Agreed. I mean, I say, why shouldn't they count? We have them. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
I bop you on the head lightly.
We're getting away with one gold each. Let it go. Fine. A woman appears out of the bushes that you hadn't seen yet and collects the 1 gold each from the back row and also his gold back from you. And this guy walks forward.
What is the conversion of silver to gold?
I see what you're doing. Okay. I assume it's 10-1. Typically,
when she comes to collect. Yeah.
Yes. 1 gold is 10 silver pieces.
As she comes around, I reach in my hand, I pull out like my pocket, and I pull out like 4 silver coins. I'm like, this is what I got.
She takes it and then holds her hand out, waiting for the rest.
Nice.
I take the silver back and pay the 2nd gold for him as well.
Thank you. They take all of it. I thought you were gonna like pay her in like 100 copper, and you were gonna count them one at a time.
Hey, like we'll be here for like 3 hours. Like,
yeah.
You have a voucher, so you get like 20% off all tolls in the area, that kind of thing. Okay. So you eventually see that there are 6 of them, and that you're kind of loosely surrounded. But they take the whopping 6 gold that you're paying them, and the whopping 6 gold that Ben stole from them previously, and let you go on your way because Emma is surprisingly intimidating. Stupid eyeball licking frog nonsense.
Hey,
Like it's
what was their name again?
Understand your strengths.
This is Grellan's Crossroad. Grellan. He's Grellan. Hi.
Unless Kerpley stops me, as we ride away, I'm going to cast Telekinetic Hand again.
I'll turn a blind eye. I will pretend I see nothing.
Okay, make another thievery check.
I've returned it once already. It's
no, that's out of your hands.
If it gets taken,
it's out of your hands at this point.
Yeah, it's out of my hands. I washed my hands of
Roll. There we go.
I have returned their money.
20 for 27, by the way.
Okay. So you not only re-steal the 6 gold you already stole, you steal your 6 gold back and 7 more. So you came into this transaction and have gained 13 gold in the process somehow. And he's very confused, and none of them actually notice you do it this time. Because you do it as you ride by.
Yeah. 13 gold.
Yes. You are net. So everybody in your group gets their gold back, and then you have 13 extra on top of it.
Sweet.
This is the most D&D thing, or TTRPG thing. We have almost 1,000 gold.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Paying them the 25 and piecing out literally would not have mattered to us.
I don't care. It's the principle of the thing.
Exactly. It's the principle of the thing.
We could so easily have just been like, okay, whatever, here we
I
go.
Could lick my eyeball at them. Why wouldn't I do that?
Grizz only has 15 silver on him, so that's all he's cared about.
And I have 11 gold on me, but still.
Oh, it's the principle of the thing.
It's the principle of the thing. You don't charge for somebody else's crossroad.
No.
Fair enough. As you guys ride off, like you're a little bit away, Brigley looks at you, Ezzik, and she's like, "That you do realize those were bandits? Like,
I probably should have.
Like you're very confusing to me."
I think it's best for us to establish ourselves in the area before we go picking a fight with every band of bandits.
Ashell seems very confused about the idea of not just picking a fight, but Brigley has been told that you are technically in charge, that you three are technically in charge, and so she's not going to question it, even though she really wants to question it.
Outsmart the bandits.
Very well.
I didn't see him take that.
Take what?
Exactly. Outsmart the bandits.
Rodal is just kind of riding along on his horse, and he turns and looks at you, and he's like, fascinating. Fascinating. You notice Ashell's horse is smaller and much faster than the rest of them, and she will frequently just, like, disappear ahead of you, and then kind of come back and occasionally, like, nod at Brigley, and then she'll just disappear again. And you guys keep traveling, and you basically go for, like, another, like I said, 4 or 5 days, just stopping as you go, until you come to Oleg's trading post. Basically, Oleg's is like I said, it's like 5 days south of Grellin's Crossroads, which is now what it's totally going to say on the map. And it's basically like a small fort. Like the entire thing is surrounded by like a 20 foot high, like timber wall. And it looks like it just has several buildings inside, but the gate's like wide open. There's some tents that look like we're hunters camp, like outside. And it looks to just like be a pretty decent sized trading post. And you see a guy just outside, looks like he's chopping wood, and a lady just inside who looks like she's sweeping. And she notices you before he does. And she runs over to him. She's like, visitors, customers. And he looks up and he's like, huh? Yes. Welcome to Oleg's. And it's like with the like same booming energy as a guy at like a car lot, but there's like no other customers. It's just the 6 of you riding up. He's like, yeah, welcome to Oleg's trading post. What can I do for you?
We've been sent with a charter from Lady Jamandi, seeking the Gnarl Greenbelt and the Gnarl Marches.
What? Why would you want the Gnarl March? Interesting. People don't usually want the Gnarl Marshes. Okay. Wait, Lady Jamandi sent you?
Yeah, we'll kind of explain the idea that we've been sent out to chart this, or like create settlements in this region and stuff like that, and tell them that we were told to stop by here on our way.
I'm struggling a little bit because I don't see something on the character sheet that kind of encompasses what I expect for like intuition or like reading people in terms of as a skill in the way I'm used to. I wonder if that's like more looped in with perception now.
Yeah, if it's be based on a check based on our awareness, yeah, that would fall in, based on like the text, that would fall into perception.
I guess make me perception checks then.
16 for Ezzik.
Okay.
21.
Again, we see the Matrix.
Yes. Then sees into the future.
We're in a game.
25.
You said 25?
Yep.
Gracious. Anybody who got, I think all 3 of you got it. He looks relieved at the idea that you're here to help with the bandits. Emma, you notice he looks significantly less relieved, aka mildly concerned, when he realizes you're here to set up shop in the long run. Like that you like the idea of you coming to deal with the bandits, great. 10 out of 10, no notes. The idea that you, after you set up the bandits, may in fact set up your own colony or kingdom or the like, 2 out of 10, a lot of notes. And all of those notes are disconcertion. So it's like a real mixed bag of emotion in that moment. The lady, just 10 out of 10, no notes, no matter what you say. She's thrilled you're here. He is not entirely thrilled. He seems concerned.
He doesn't want us.
Go ahead.
I'd say out loud, he doesn't want us.
She looks concerned. I apologize. My name is Svetlana. This is my husband, Oleg. we do have a significant bandit issue, and we're very thankful you're here. If you can in any way help with that, that would be a tremendous help to us. It's causing a genuine problem. My husband she seems to be trying to say the polite thing that, like, doesn't hurt his feelings. There's a reason we left larger society for the wild. He's not particularly a fan of
people.
Well, yes, to be honest, which makes owning a trading post difficult at times, admittedly. But you're welcome nonetheless, and your help would be appreciated. He's just worried.
Do we know, like, how far from here we still have to travel?
Oh, so, okay, well, so in theory, Oleg's is kind of like, and I'll give you guys a map, like an actual map to look at, like a hex map. But Oleg's is kind of like the top right corner, more or less. And if you imagine, like, for lack of a better word, like if you can imagine like a Settlers of Catan board in your head. So where there's all those little, was it hexagonal or whatever? Spaces. Like, imagine something that's like the size of like a full Settlers of Catan board, and you're just on like one hex in the corner. You have the rest of that area to explore and potentially build wherever you please. In theory, in the future. This hex that is basically just Oleg's trading post and some surrounding like hills and plains and whatever is just like one small percentage of the map. Like, inevitably, like, if you have like the entirety of like the Pokemon like Kanto map, this is like you've started in Pallet Town and the rest of the map is open to you to explore. This is just the first part.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a part of what in theory would become your kingdom eventually. So like you could establish a massive city and massive kingdom and be literal weeks travel away from Oleg's very easily.
That was my impression, and I just kind of wanted to validate.
He just is just concerned in general at the concept, but it's very possible for you to kind of like allow him to keep his space. He may have an advantageous place for you to build. This may be the least advantageous hex on the map for you to build in. That requires exploration. This is just a starting point and something that was important for her for you to do. Just to kind of give yourself a foothold. He kind of pauses and he contemplates for a second. You're welcome to stay here for now. And she's right. Your help is appreciated.
We'd appreciate that. We have maps and definitely want to make sure that they are up to date before we go and establish ourselves further. If you have a place that we can set up camp, and any advice on the region would definitely be appreciated.
Yes. Well, and he actually looks at, because Brightglaz's kind of got the maps out and is looking at one of them. He kind of steps around and looks at it, and he kind of traces around certain areas with his finger, kind of showing you the layout of some of the places that Lady Jamondi had mentioned. The bandits come and go from different areas around here. I think they're somewhere to the south. It seems that they come maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks and then disappear. I don't know how long it takes them to get back, but they do come on horseback. So I imagine it's some distance away. I just know they go south when they leave, sort of southeast.
And it's just the two of you? Do y'all fight off the bandits? Typically,
I give them a percentage of whatever's come in from the hunters and they leave. As long as they get enough, they don't seem to bother with anything else. So occasionally,
the impression here is like,
occasionally some of the mercenaries and hunters that are in here, if they see enough of them, they won't come. They'll just wait a day or two till they know everybody's left.
So, like, are these other people here now, or is it really just the two of them? From what we can see, like, we're not gonna like. I would probably like dismounted and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like when you guys rode in, there were maybe like 2 or 3 tents outside of the fort, where you think like trappers or something are probably staying. So like, there's a couple other people, but for the most part, it seems to just be the two of them. You actively actually see one of the guys is in the barn, like feeding his horse, and like one guy is leaning up against the wall at like the big building, you assume, like where people eat and sleep. Mm-hmm. He's just kind of leaning against it, but for the most part, the consistent seems to be just the two of them. It's been about 2 weeks since they were here last. I imagine they'll be here in the next couple of days. I know, right? It's like someone wrote it down that way.
Yeah.
In theory, they should be here again soon.
I think it would make sense for us to stay and help you out, and we'll definitely be looking for strong backs and craftsmen to help us with establishing our settlement. And so any help that you can help provide would very much be appreciated.
I've got a good trade network going so far. If you need anything, you let me know. We'll see if we can't get it brought in for you. And you're welcome to stay in the big house. We'll put your horses in the stable.
Big house. Does it have lots and lots of rooms?
It does. And maybe some place to play football.
We can play football?
Yeah, we can play football. That was a really, really specific reference, but I'm glad you made it.
That was a very deep cut.
That one's been a while.
You're welcome.
That one's been a while. Good song though. And Svetlana, just every moment that passes, she seems happier and more excited. And she's just like, I'm gonna go make dinner now. And she just like runs off. And she looks around at the six of you and she points at Brigley. She's like, you're helping me. Come on. She doesn't ask. She doesn't wait for an answer. She just points at her and then leaves. And Brigley just like, she looks at Kirkley. She looks at you and she's like, do I?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. And
I wave.
She goes into the house and helps Svetlana make dinner. She's very confused the whole time. Yeah. So welcome to Oleg's trading post. Oleg's out of character is sort of consider it sort of like a save point. Like it's the place that makes the most sense for you guys to kind of come and go from as you start. And start, I mean, deal with the bandit problem. Oh, and Oleg tells you typically there's only like 3 or 4 of them. But if they know there's other people here, sometimes there's more. So I really don't know how they know. It's unusual. But yeah. Sometime in the next couple of days, I'd assume. When they normally come back. They said something about me making sure I had a specific kind of like... I don't really know what it is. It's some kind of mead that's like not local to this area. But they said I better start having it. But I don't know anyone who carries it. So they're probably going to be disappointed. And if they think they can take from you because you're here, they're going to try to. So just so you're aware.
Oh, we're already aware.
Eyeball lick. Well, again, thank you. And he shows you where you can put your horses, and they get you guys situated. And they give you 2 rooms inside the big house. There's like 5 or 6 rooms for people can stay. Rodal comes up to you. I will stay out here. I don't really need the same kind of nourishment and rest that you little ones do. And so he kind of just goes and like positions himself by the gate and just sits. It looks like he's meditating. And Ashelle has managed to... You're not really sure how. She's about 15 feet up one of the walls. It looks like she's just started climbing up and down different things. Trying to find good vantage points. Oleg looks deeply concerned. He's like, that's not particularly safe. It's not meant for holding people. Is she okay? Is she going to be okay?
Is Ashelle human?
She's an elf.
I want to, at some point, pick like a dandelion or something.
Okay.
And go over and just like tuck it on Crodal.
Crodal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like like almost like tuck it into one of his sections as though it's a lapel flower.
Okay.
And just like look at him and then wander away again.
Love it. Here for it. Totally fine with it.
This is like, here, have a flower.
Thank you.
Nod and walk away.
He glows slightly more purple for a second. He pokes it. Interesting. Thank you. Okay. So we're actually going to stop there. But yeah, you guys have made it to Oleg's trading post with your charter and your new team of NPC backup. This is going to be a very specific reference if you haven't played Overwatch. I did not intend to put Ash and Bob in this game together, but I'm going to be fine with it. It's fine. Because Crowdoll is actually just Bob, and that was not on purpose. And Ashell is based off a different Ash than that one, but whatever. Potato. So we will now tell the nice people who are listening, hello, where they can find you on the internet. Cameron, where may the nice folks find you on the internet?
You can find me around the internet as Humar Whittle. And then you can find me streaming over on twitch.tv and YouTube on Cameron plus Deanna, as well as OneGeek411.
YouTube and Twitch. Nice.
Yep, we multi-stream now.
Multi-stream. Love to see it. Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. You can find me at I am not prepared with an I in the prepared because I'm dyslexic, and it was funny after I realized it was incorrect.
Sure.
On all platforms. You can also find me over at First Geek 411, which is on Twitch and YouTube. It's great. We have a fun time, just like Cameron. So yeah, it's a good time. We enjoy ourselves over there.
And apologies to the listeners, the audio has been a little wonky. My internet is being also a little wonky. Ben, where's Ben on the internet?
Ben is here.
Has anyone completed the search for Ben? Has anyone found the Ben yet on the internet?
No, not that they have announced themselves.
Go find the Ben on the internet. Go say hi to the Ben if you can find him on the internet. Say hi to him on our Discord also. But if you find him somewhere else on the internet, go say hi to the Ben. And yeah, cityonthehillgaming.com or wherever fine podcasts are consumed. Also, you can listen to all episodes both on our YouTube channel and on YouTube Music Podcasts. I believe we are both places. So you can check us out there if you prefer your podcasts through the YouTube. And nice. More Kingmaker, more Wander Home, more Iron Falcon 75, plus also maybe some Star Wars and maybe some legally distinct space that's not Star Wars, and also some Marvel, and also some Sunday school style stuff that we're working on. All the things, all the very many things coming up as we keep doing the stuff. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Grizzly, Rich, Bryan, Sir Lord Epicname, Andrew, Christina, Tony, and Joanne. And thank you guys so much for listening. Emma, say bye to the nice people.
Hi, nice people.
Ben, say bye to the nice people.
Bye to the nice people.
And Cameron, say bye to the nice people.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Thanks everybody for listening, and have a blessed day. Thanks for listening to City on the Hill Gaming. If you'd like to know more, find us online at cityonthehillgaming.com or by sending us an email at cityonthehillgaming@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at cityonthehillgame or find us online at patreon.com/cityonthehillgaming. Thanks as always to our Patreon backers, Grizzly Rich, Bryan, Sir Lord Epicname, Andrew, Christina, and Tony. We really thank you guys for everything you do to support the show, and we truly appreciate you. Thanks for listening, and have a blessed day.